This is how I sync everything together.
Clap on, clap off.
Oh, hold on. Okay, I gotta hype myself up here. What up, YouTube? Nate here. And this is...
Noah, Suns out, Kryptonian guns out.
Wow. What a way to start the podcast. That's awesome. That's awesome. This podcast, if you haven't been with us before, it's all about me, Nate, and Noah kind of just geeking out. But I think today's going to be more focused on comic books. But before we talk about movies, but it's always kind of related back to comic books. So, yeah, I have a couple comics. No, I was going to do a pickup video anyways, and I was hoping you would join me in this pickup video of comics. Noah, for those who don't know him, he's like a geekdom expert, I guess. Is that what we said?
Kinda. I wouldn't say expert, but I pick up a lot of stuff here and there.
He's my go-to guy. Like when I have questions about comic books and movies, anything in that genre, cosplay. Noah's the guy I go to. He's pretty smart with it. So I've kind of tried to devise this.
Spider-Man, I'd be the Spider Pope.
Spider Pope.
The Spider Pope.
In the Spider-Verse, he is Spider Pope.
And now we read from the holy book of Lee and Ditko.
I'm sorry, Liefeld for life.
Liefeld?
I call it Liefeld because that's how I always...
Rob Liefeld, are you kidding me? That dude's horrible.
I know.
His art sucks. He's got eyes or feet.
Everyone has like a duck face. That's just the way, that's what I grew up reading. I don't like it or anything. I just said it because it would be funny. But yeah, I've kind of devised this new kind of pickup video system, but for comic books. It's kind of like the same thing that we've done with video games. But 3 segments, Noah. We love this. The first segment is comics I bought just kind of like for reading.
Mm-hmm.
Usually inexpensive comics that you'll see most of the time they're older comics, and the reason I like those for reading is because they're just like generally like one story and done. Right?
Yeah.
You just get a nice little bite.
They're like comics for the crapper.
I don't read my comics in the crapper, Noah.
Really? Oh, you and I
don't teach our fans anything. Well, there's a risk of wetness, you know.
What the hell? How
I don't want to get
in your hands.
I don't want to get my comics moist, man. They're gonna, they absorb it. They get wavy. It's not a good scene, bro.
How do you manage to do that?
It's a very humid environment, Noah.
In your bathroom, maybe.
I like it warm.
Like it warm.
Comment below. Do you read in the crapper? Yes or no? We won't judge you here. We're all family here on Nate and Noah's show.
You play
what is that?
Too.
What's that? Sorry.
You play games on the crapper too, because I'm sure you should.
Well, that's different. That's a handheld device. You can, I have a hand cleaning policy in my house, though. This segment of comic books was readers. Just readers I got, mostly because they were cheap. This is kind of like for people who follow our channel before, the shelf padding segment of this video.
Ding, ding, ding.
The second... Yeah, ding, 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 exactly. The second round for comic books is going to be like the no cheaps that we do in our video game pickups, but these are, I'm going to call them just key issues. Nothing creative. Key issues. Issues that I didn't necessarily get because I want to read them. They're items that maybe I got just because I grew up with it. Some sort of connection to it. It's some value to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, makes sense, right?
Yeah.
The third segment are comics that are current age. Like I've recently been trying to get back into getting a mailbox at my local comic book store.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so comics that have current age, and this is where I need a lot of your help, Noah, to tell me, because I'm testing a lot of comic, titles to see if they're worth it or not. You know what I mean?
Okay, I might not be able to help you because I've pretty much dropped modern comics as a whole, especially Marvel.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like modern Marvel. Too many.
Do tell.
They've been changing up too many stuff, and I'm fine with, that, but, like, it seems like every 6 months they're doing a reboot or a relaunch of something, and, like, they're switching up the continuity again, and, like, I can't follow it anymore.
Be all new, all different?
Yes.
You're not a fan of that?
I'm not a fan of Marvel now.
You must hate DC. They do it, like, every 4 years.
Well, at least they space it out. They give you a chance to absorb some crap, and then they...
Oh, are you saying, because I fell off, like, in modern era, I fell off near Secret Invasion. Do they do it a lot?
They've been doing it a lot in recent years, and they keep, like, they've been repeating the same events. Like, they recently did Civil War 2, they did another Secret Wars. Like, are you...
See, I haven't read that yet, so maybe that's why I'm not jaded.
They're running out of ideas, I think. Honestly.
You think because I haven't read it yet, I'm not, like, perturbed by it yet?
I don't know, man. I haven't read a lot of modern Marvel, so I can't speak to its quality. But from what I've been hearing online from various comic book readers on the YouTubes, it's not the best. But
really?
They're getting better, it seems. Hopefully.
Well, we'll talk about it as we go. That's a good broad strokes comment on current age Marvel, because everyone knows I'm a Marvel slut. Like, I love Marvel comics.
You're a Marvel.
That's what I grew up loving, right? Noah, is that for you, or do you have like
affinity
for DC?
I was always a Marvel kid growing up, but I loved Batman and Justice League. So.
Yeah, you know what the thing is, like, you don't really have to follow it too closely, I don't think, for Batman. No. You can kind of pick it up as you go. Like, even though I wasn't reading Batman, I knew Dick Grayson took over the mantle. Batman was in, like, Dinosaur World or something like that.
Yeah, no, wait, that was...
Yeah.
That was when Adam took over.
Paquette drew... I met Yannick Paquette. He was the one who did the art for that Batman line, I believe. And I had a conversation with him at Comic-Con for like 25 minutes. He told me to grab a seat beside him. He just kind of filled me in on Batman. Because I told him, I haven't read it yet. And he's like, well, let's talk about it. And he kind of turned... I bought a couple of his comics.
See, I love that when guests do that. It's so nice.
Oh, yeah, and he drew me a sketch, too, which I was really happy about. But anyways, okay, we'll get to that. Current age comics, and then the last, instead of having like a maple syrup pickup of the video, I do have a pretty extensive comic book collection. I'm going to pull out a line or a comic or something that I kind of want us to discuss. For whatever reason, it has some relevance to today, an interesting story, what have you. I think it'll make for a good podcast, Noah. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll try it.
Comment below if there's a name for our pickup videos. Like, for video games, it was Monday Nitro pickups. Comic books, I don't know. I was trying to think of, like, the long box. You know, kind of something comic booky.
Oh, the long box we used to do when I was on another YouTube channel, TV Pop Culture, with my good bud, the comic book guy.
Yeah.
We used to do a review show called The Long Box.
I think that's where I got that name from.
It's a good
stole
name.
It from you.
Honestly.
It's not bad. Sorry if I'm talking to you, but I'm not looking at you. Maybe from your vantage point, just as a side note there. But yeah, let's get started again. And I'm sure we'll generate a lot of fun conversation from these comic books.
Oh yeah,
as we tend to do. So round one, ding ding ding. Hold on, I'll show people the comics there I have. See, I got like 2 videos worth here, Noah, of comic books.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like there's 2 piles. One I got 2 months ago, and then the other one I got like last month. So I kind of want to do it monthly, if that makes sense.
Oh, just like the comic book.
Yeah, there you go. You get it. You kind of get it. Okay, so some of these you might have seen before, but because I don't think a lot of people saw that pick a video, I'll show them again so we can discuss it further. I was at the flea market. Sorry, this is the pile here of readers.
Oh, that's a big reader pile.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You're all
lots of time on the crapper, Noah. Noah's set for a month here. Jeez. 50-cent comic books from the flea market. I haven't really read a lot of these. Master of Kung Fu. Can you see that okay?
Oh, the hands of Shang-Chi.
Yeah, none of these are key issues. So, this one, what does this one say? Shang-Chi is in the land of the behemoths or whatever. Something like that. I don't know. Looks interesting. Showdown with Kogar. Guy who suspiciously looks a lot like Sagat.
The master.
You see that one okay?
When's he going to show up in the MCU?
Sagat? I don't know. They need to do a crossover with Street Fighter. That would be pretty cool.
I meant the Master of Kung Fu, but yeah, where's Sagat?
Oh, yeah. The Master Shang-Chi. He can show up, I think, I would say Iron Fist 2, Season 2. What do you think?
Probably. I would be surprised they wouldn't do that.
Exactly, right? Sorry, I gotta play with my camera here. It doesn't make sense to me for that character to be, you know, with Iron Fist. Even though people didn't like Iron Fist that much. I liked it. What did you think about Iron Fist on
I haven't
Netflix?
Watched it yet.
No?
I haven't watched any of the Netflix shows. I'm sorry.
Really? What are you even doing on this podcast, Noah? Get off.
I've been watching a lot of Spider-Man, the animated series on Netflix.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Is it the 90s Spider-Man?
Yes.
The Unlimited Spider-Man?
No, the 94 one.
Oh, wasn't that great?
Yeah, it's a great series.
You know, I remember I was in the basement of my grandma's house, and then I'm like, no way, they're gonna do Venom. Look at it, and it did Venom. I was like, yes! I liked it. I thought it kind of... Did you finish the seasons?
I finished season 2. I'm currently on season 3.
Did you like the whole... Okay, did you see the... Is that... No, the Beyonder was like season 5.
Yeah, the Beyonder was season 5 and the whole Secret Wars thing.
Oh, yeah, Pseudo Secret Wars.
Pseudo.
Yeah, Spider-Man was the leader of that team, right? That's what we all know from the comic books.
Spider-Man.
Jeez.
He's the leader of every team.
Exactly.
And the X-Men.
And the X-Men. And he was Fantastic Four for a while. Doom wears 3 faces? I don't know. I love these, like... You know there's a word for, like, blaxploitation films?
Kung Fu exploitation?
Is there, like, yeah. Is there, like, Kung Fu's
I know
exploitation?
There was a huge boom of Kung Fu type movies after Bruce Lee in the 70s came to America, so...
Oh, yeah. This is what this stems from. Like, Iron Fist stems from that, too.
Yeah.
It's funny that they put the two kind of, I don't want to say racist, but racially stereotypical characters together in Heroes for Hire. You know what I mean?
What?
Because of the show.
Is it
Sorry?
racially stereotypical? Because Iron Fist has always been white.
I know, but, I mean, it's like, what? Oh, Ling Cho, you know?
I think it would be more racially stereotypical if he was actually Asian.
That's true. Well, see, that's what they call it, whitewashing. You're whitewashing us.
It's not really whitewashing because he's always white, but I don't know.
It's like in Doctor Strange, which I haven't seen yet, weirdly enough, Doctor Strange. His master is not Asian.
Yeah, well,
people got mad about that.
That has to do with the fact that the Ancient One is actually Tibetan, and get the movie released in China. You know, China has the whole thing with Tibet, and it's a whole political mess.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why they had had the Ancient One played by Tilda Swinton, who I thought did a good job.
I haven't seen the movie. I have to go buy that on Blu-ray. Maybe I'll buy that today.
Yeah, you should. It's a good movie. I liked it. I saw it in theaters. It was some of the best 3D I've ever seen so far, honestly.
It looks like Inception on roids.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll just finish this Battle at the Waterfront. These are all comics that are, in their current state, are worth like 50 cents a piece. Sorry, I know some comic purists will be like, oh, I don't like it's not about the money. It's about the hobby and reading it. It's just from our old pickup video. We like to kind of see the prices of comic books. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like with any pickup video.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, mine, I just say the price I got it for. Oh, yes, Wolverine.
This Keith guy, I bought this at the dollar store when I was a kid. This exact comic. This is really bad. I won it at a local auction for 50 cents. And these guys said very fine grade or whatever. But there's like a big water stain here. So this guy obviously read it in the crapper. You know what I'm saying? But this Keith, I don't know who Keith is. This guy Keith here, the artist who drew this Wolverine, I really did like it, and I tried to emulate it a lot as a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His art style.
You know what's funny is that Wolverine was always so hard for me to draw as a kid because I couldn't do human-looking faces, so I always just drew Spider-Man instead.
Yes, your art is amazing, Noah. Very amazing.
It's not that good. I'll get it.
I saw a little bit of it on Facebook. If you want to see Noah's art, check us out on facebook.com/thriftdwellers. I'll post a special Noah art section there for everyone. I got this for $1 at a local auction because no one bid on it. I thought it'd be really cool to read. Lobo #1. It's not the first appearance of Lobo. Obviously, he came in on Omega Man, I believe, issue number 30. I can't remember exactly, but I always thought he was a cool character, even though I didn't read DC. He could beat Superman if he wasn't drunk all the time.
That's
I got 4
Lobo's
issues of #1, so.
That's Lobo's greatest weakness, alcoholism.
Oh my god, he's like the Tony Stark of the DC universe. But look you notice there it says comic only this one says first issue only 99 cents. DC has always been good about like keeping their comics on the cheaper side compared to Marvel, obviously because they have to compete with Marvel, but keeping the line at $2.99. I like that. It kind of makes I want to start getting a DC line in my mailbox at the comic book store. I'm trying to decide which comic to get, so comment below, let me know which is a good like DC storyline to read. Noah, if you have any recommendations, tell me now.
I've been hearing that since they've done Rebirth, Superman has actually been a really good comic to read.
See, how do you not get bored? Superman's been around forever. How is he not boring to people yet?
I don't know. You would think with a power set like his, he would just get boring, but somehow they managed to make him fresh. I especially like the 90s Superman animated series. Part of the DC animated universe. That was a good one.
You know, that was a really good time for DC fans. Batman animated series was really good.
Well, that's how I got
introduced Harley Quinn.
That's how
Not a lot of people knew that, eh?
Universe.
I think you were the one who informed me that Harley Quinn was actually first introduced into comics in The Adventures of Batman, which is based off the animated series on TV. And now she's like totally, well, not totally far, but just evolved from her original appearance in the animated series, where she was kind of just like, "Hey, Mr. Joker," you know. And now she's just nuts.
She's much more of a fleshed out character.
Oh yes. My favorite line in Batman Arkham, the game Arkham Asylum or whatever, Joker's like, "Stop beating on Harley. That's my job." I thought that was fantastic. Arkham City. I think that was in Arkham City. Really good game, actually. You play any of those games, Noah?
Yeah. It's been a while, though.
I got a couple Luke Cage comics I think I got these for 50 cents a piece.
Luke Cage!
Oh, man. Blaxploitation at its finest. Here he's fighting, the deadliest assassin of all, whoever that is. I have no clue.
He will never
He's
appear
fighting the Goldbug. If the Goldbug doesn't destroy you, Cage, then Thunderbolt will.
The Goldbug is a transformer. That's how I know the name Goldbug.
Maybe this is a crossover because Marvel did do the Transformers comics.
I don't think Goldbug was an Autobot, so I don't know.
Hey, could be corrupted. Oh. Hey, Iron Fist and Luke Cage fought each other due to misunderstandings.
Okay, my favorite Luke Cage moment is when he went after Dr. Doom for not paying him.
That was really, you know what, that key issue is actually worth quite a bit of money.
I know, it's so fun.
And he's like talking to him in like, you know, street talk. Give me my $200 or whatever. He went to the, okay, for the people who haven't seen that, it's a key issue in Luke Cage. It was just an I don't know, they weren't expecting an appearance by Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
So Luke Cage kind of breaks into Fantastic Four's headquarters, borrows their transport machine or whatever, the Fantastic car, and flies to Latvia. Yeah, Latveria, the land of Doom. And like, give me my money. He starts killing Doom bots, right? It was so good though.
Dr. Doom's just like, what is going on?
Yeah, here's your money. Get out of my castle. Oh man, Dr. Doom is really like, I've been reading to jump to the more recent comics. The Secret Wars issues, Dr. Doom is like pretty damn powerful.
Yeah.
I was like, what? He's the god of the Thor Corps? What the hell's I have to catch up to that, by the way. So, you know what I'm talking about, Noah?
Weird stuff happens in those crossovers, man. I can't even keep up half the time.
Here's another line. Issues 1 to 5 of Elektra in the Hand. This is the origin of the Hand.
Oh, I think I have that in graphic novel form, actually.
Oh, nice. I haven't read it yet. You can see, if I don't tape it, I haven't read it yet. But, yeah, I always because I started getting interested in the Hand when I was reading The Avengers. You know, and it was before the lead up to Secret Invasion. Whatever. Where all the Skrulls were kind of taking over, replacing people. That was a really good line, too, by the way. We should talk about that in a future episode. But did you read that one, Secret Invasion?
I actually haven't read Secret Invasion. There's a lot of Marvel events that I need to catch up on. I don't really collect events. I more just collect single issues and read those.
Oh, really? See, I'm totally opposite. I love the summer. Because growing up, for me, that was the big thing, right? What's the next Marvel summer crossover?
Yeah, because
we'll talk about that as we go. Maybe I'll bring it up so that way I can educate Noah for a change on something.
The only crossovers of Marvel I really enjoyed were the first Secret Wars and Infinity Gauntlet.
Really?
Yeah.
Infinity Gauntlet is one of the best. We'll talk about that too in a future episode. Another 50-cent comic I won. These Marvel Comics presents. They're like mini stories inside one comic.
Yeah, there's like 3 different heroes featured, but there's always one on the cover. And it's
exactly.
Wolverine.
That's like the definition of a crapper read right there. This one was really cool. These ones came with like the action figures back in the
the Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
When toys
this is like Power Man Iron Fist number 79, I guess.
They weren't $30 a pop.
You know, I heard it was Spider-Man that started this whole craze on Marvel Legends and Marvel action figures.
It started with Spider-Man
articulation.
In 2000 from Toy Biz, and it escalated from there.
Yeah, like they found, well, this is very lucrative business. We should make action figures for adults, essentially.
Which is funny, because I bought Marvel Legends a lot as a kid.
Did you really?
Like, I would ask for them for birthday presents or Christmas presents. My first time going to the comic book store ever was to buy a Marvel Legends.
Now they're everywhere, though, so. You always post online, like, hey, head over to Toys R Us. The Build-A-Figures are out or whatever. People, like, go and they swoop in when you say it. Everyone's like, thank you, Noah. You're a nice guy, for sure.
I like to help out, you know. I'm cutting back on my spending a lot.
As long as you get your cut, right?
I don't care, really.
You get your cut first, and then everyone else can vulturize it.
I really don't care. I'll get them when I get to them. Sometimes I wait and I can find them at the thrift store at a convention for dirt cheap, so, like...
You're still young, Noah. You got lots of time to grow.
Yeah, I got lots of time. I have no babies that I know of.
Yeah, that you know of. Whoa! Noah drops a bombshell. He has no babies.
I'm just...
That he knows of. Do tell, George Washington.
I cannot tell a lie. I have banged many hot women round the world.
Some of them my slaves.
Oh.
I'll cut that out. Cutting that out. 50 cents a pop. I won this at a local auction. The World of Krypton issues. I thought this was, like, for me to want to catch up to Superman and kind of know deeper than just what everyone else knows.
Yeah.
This one is, like, they find a machine, I think, that lets you relive, and it shows important stories in the Krypton world. Have you read this, Noah, or you know what this is about?
I have a few Krypton comics.
Yeah, so, like, you get kind of the backstory of Superman's past, right? That one was about his parents' wedding.
Mm.
This one is the first family of Krypton, I guess, in the L family.
Mm.
You know, the first, I guess, couple joining or whatever. This one here, let's see, this one is amazing. The sensor enables me to link to my ancestors' experiences, it says on the cover.
Wow.
And when he led a revolt against Krypton's alien masters. I love things like that, you know what I mean? It's
Superman was using the Aminus before it was cool.
The legend, the history of something. I love those things. The World of Krypton, Brainiac, stealing Kandor.
Ah, yes. The infamous city in a bottle.
Yes. I don't know where this fits into that storyline or whatever, but...
You'll have to read it to find out.
This one here, I will have to read it. This came pre-taped, by the way. I will untape it when I read it.
Yeah.
This one is The Last Days of Krypton.
Ah.
And really, if you want to find these, like, I was reading online comic book price guys. These are really inexpensive comics, actually. Round 2. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding. Key issues.
Key issues. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Noah. I knew you'd pay off in this podcast.
You've earned your keep, good sir.
Some of these aren't valuable per se. They're just important to me, just saying. I really do enjoy these gold key Star Treks.
Yes. Speaking of keys.
I showed this. Sorry?
Keys.
Oh, I get it. Gold key issues. Now, this one, actually, I read this one. It's not too bad. It's, again, a standalone story where Mr. Spock goes crazy. Really good story. I enjoyed it a lot, actually.
I've never actually read any of the Star Trek comics.
Are you not a Star Trek guy? You haven't followed it?
I like Star Trek. I'm mainly a Next Generation guy.
Get out of my podcast.
Don Luke. Well, I do, and Deep Space Nine is good too.
DS9 was great. I like that. I will say, a lot darker, a lot grittier than, like, per se the nice and bright original series or whatever.
The original series is still has its good episodes, definitely.
Oh, I prefer the original series is my favorite, followed by DS9 and then Next Gen.
I mean, really, can you beat William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy? I don't think so.
Oh, Michael Dohan, DeForest Kelly. Who else was there in that? Uhura.
Yes, I always forget her actress's name.
Nichelle Nichols.
Yes. One of the first...
Iconic cast.
Don't forget the first interracial kiss in TV history.
Apparently that wasn't true.
Really?
But it's probably the most... I don't know. I still call it that because probably no one ever saw the first one. But where was the first interracial kiss? Comment below if you know. I heard that was only the second. Side note, though, Star Trek heads out there, have you watched on YouTube the fan-made, the new Star Trek ones? What's it? Star Trek Continues? You ever see that on YouTube?
No, but I've been hearing a lot about the Star Trek Discovery that's coming up, starring Vic Mignogna. Ooh.
Yeah, that's the guy who does, I think, Star Trek Continues. He's the producer of that. He paid for the first episode himself, and then the upcoming episodes were like funded through Patreon or whatever.
Yeah.
Really good job. They have like the original music is shot in the same aspect ratio as the original series. The set designs are like amazing. Once you kind of get over the actors portraying the iconic characters that you've seen so many years, it's not horrible. It's pretty good.
Yeah. For all you
They
anime
recommend.
fans out there, fun fact, Vic Mignogna is a huge Star Trek nerd.
Really, I would never have guessed. And he kind of looks like he plays William Shatner not too bad. Pretty good, I will say.
I'll have to check that out for sure.
You will have to check that out. In the summer, I haven't actually pulled this out yet for a video, I don't think.
The
Infinity Gauntlet. $40 I picked that up from a local collector.
Nice. Is that the...
I made a shelf too for Infinity Gauntlet, which you'll have to watch other videos to see, but like we were talking about this, Noah, probably one of the best storylines in history, I think, personally, for me, that I've read. The best summer crossover, by far, in my opinion, is... No, this and Civil War kind of are up there for me. But Infinity Gauntlet was like the first comic book series that I read, like from 1 to, 6? 6? You know, I didn't read any of the crossovers leading up to it, but this was amazing. As a kid, I read this at my friend's house, with church friends.
Yep.
I was amazed by that. I was like, wow, comic books are really fun to read. You know, great storyline or what have you. Amazing. And you know they're going to be doing a movie about that, obviously. This
Infinity War, which is going to be amazing.
next year. And did you see some of like the lead up behind the scenes that they're talking about? They look like they're on set.
Oh, it looks so good and everything. I've been following.
It looks great.
Casting announcements and everything. I'm just
Me
excited.
too.
I'm just excited because they finally got Spider-Man in the MCU, so he'll be in
My
Infinity War.
God! And did you see him? He's like on the set. I'm assuming of what's Infinity War is gonna be with like Iron Man and Thor or whatever, and it's like green screen with. I'm like, oh my God, they're fighting Thanos, one of my favorite villains, if not my favorite villain of all time, in the comic book universe. Like
I'm hoping the Infinity War is how they do the black suit for the MCU, because it would make sense.
It's in space.
Yep.
I'm very interested to see how they translate, because they can never like fully translate exactly comic for comic to the MCU.
No.
The movie universe. You have to modify things so they make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And legality wise, you can't have Wolverine in the comic book. Spoiler alert! Sorry, this whole episode spoiler alerts. Like, one of the most gruesome scenes in the Infinity Gauntlet is Wolverine kind of being melted. I'm guessing due to the reality gem or whatever. Thanos is like melting him. You know what I mean? And in the comic, it's just like rubber.
Well, it's more painful than watching Magneto rip the adamantium from his bones.
That I actually haven't read. That's when I fell out of comics, actually. Is that how he became feral Wolverine?
Yes. Apparently the adamantium was keeping his feral instincts in check or some crap.
Do they continue with that now, I wonder?
Wolverine's currently dead in Marvel.
Yeah, but did they continue?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. To me, like, when I heard about that, the most amazing thing to me was, I'm like, what? His claws weren't given to him? It's actually his bones he was born with?
Yep.
That was what was amazing to me.
And then you read Wolverine Origin and it makes sense.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't think that was necessary. I liked it that they finally... Because for so many years, early 90s, his whole life was a mystery, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And I was happy they did it, even though a lot of people didn't think it was necessary. I liked it. I didn't like where they went with it, with the whole Department H thing and the Hudson's Bay Company, all that crap. And then, who's that one guy who was pulling the strings the entire time? Kronos or whatever his name was. You know what I'm talking about?
I'll have to go back and read the graphic novel.
I have the comics here. He was the one behind the scenes, kind of pulling the strings of Logan or James Howlett, pulling the strings of his son, Daken. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Rockin, Daken, I don't know.
Yeah. You know, but he just wanted to be like Wolverine, right? And that was the whole thing. He had fake claws and everything like that. And even like the whole history of there has always been a war between these feral mutants or whatever. And there's always a blonde one, Sabretooth, and always the black-haired one, which is Wolverine, and it's kind of like a rivalry that's been going on for decades. I liked it. I really did enjoy that whole Wolverine Origins thing. Well, what did you think about it in general? Like, did you read up a lot on it, or did you just say whatever?
Dude, I own it. I own the thing in graphic novel form. I bought it when HMV was still open.
They sold graphic novels at HMV?
They did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a great story. I really enjoyed finally getting to know the truth about Wolverine's past and all that. You know, he was part of the Howling Commandos in World War II with Captain America.
We kind of knew there was a tie-in there, though, because of his story with Captain America, yeah. You know what? Whatever. Not every story can be perfect. There's obviously a lot of holes in his history that they kind of had to fill due to, like, you know, not really having a storyline that they're just making up as they go, is what I feel like.
That's basically how all comics goes anyways. Just make it up as you go along.
But he's such an endearing character, people didn't care, I don't think. The best comics, though, are the ones where, you know, they planned it from the beginning that way, right? Good storytelling, intentful from the beginning. I really do got to branch out off of Marvel, I think, though. Sandman, God Country, a lot of other, like, independent, smaller comic book lines.
Spawn is great stuff.
Which one?
The early issues of Spawn, I really...
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Can you really classify that as small independent? I don't think so.
Well, it was at the time.
Was it? I guess. Spawn was amazing, yes. I read my cousin's comics. I wasn't allowed to by my parents. I had to sneak in and read those. that was funny. I picked this.
You should give to the kids.
No, Spawn is not something you should give to the kids. Flash. I picked this up. You can say I put it in a top loader. I literally picked it up because the guy at the comic book store said, "Oh, everyone's buying that today." I'm like, well, I might as well just buy the last one. There you go. I have no idea what this is about. It's some crossover with Batman and the Watchmen, I believe. Whatever. And it's like moves. It moves.
I didn't even realize the top loaders for comics. I thought they only did them for trading cards.
No, they do them for comic books, made by the same people that make the trading card top loaders. The only thing about this that I think people might be worried about is the acidity of this. You know, it doesn't say anywhere in the packaging that these top loaders are acid-free, but they always recommend that you bag your comics anyways before you put them in your bag and board.
You gotta be careful.
So that's what I did. The ultimate would be Mylar bag and board into this, right? So the plastic is actually not touching your comic book in the top loader. This one, yeah, a big childhood memory for me.
Yeah, I know you were posting in the local comics addicts group about that.
Yeah, this is my comic. First appearance of Spider-Man 2099 as a preview for the upcoming. They really busted on that, though, didn't they? Spider-Man 2099. I enjoyed it. It was different for me as a kid. It was new and interesting, but I think that's who it was appealing to. It was like youngins. What's that, sorry?
Well, that was one of the first comics I bought when I got into collecting was Spider-Man 2099 #1 at a garage sale.
I think he's one of the better designed Spider-Mans, too, though.
Oh, yeah. I need a Marvel Legends of him.
I liked his costume. I have to say, it was very interesting to me, too, growing up. I picked this up from our local flea market. Iron Fist meets Power Man for the first time in comic books.
Now, that's what we call a key issue, because that's a key moment.
This is a key... Yes, exactly. See, I use the word key issue loosely. No, loosely. I'm not going to read this one. I'm going to find this one digitally to read it online. So I bagged and boarded it.
Don't forget.
What's that?
Torrenting is legal in Canada, don't forget.
Is it really?
Yes, as long as you're not doing it for profit or for anything with sensitive material, then yes, torrenting is fine.
No, I'm not torrenting.
I've looked this up. It is legal in Canada under the law.
Actually, I have a friend who has a lot of digital comics, and I just kind of piggyback off his Kindle reader.
Piggyback
maximum. Sorry.
Piggyback off his account.
Yeah, it's paid for. Whatever.
Someone's
issue for me. I'm trying to collect all these the Maximum Carnage issues.
Maximum Carnage, so another one of my favorite storylines.
Oh, this was what I fell in love with growing up. This is the, I think, second to last. Yeah. 13th out of 14th issue. It was crazy back in the day. This thing spanned like Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, probably went into the web. It went through all of them.
Yeah.
Just so that it could hit like every 2 weeks or so, you can get all the issues. First standalone Cable I bought from a local collector. I think I paid a couple bucks for this one. Sorry?
Is that a Liefeld or no?
No, I don't think so. It looks like McFarlane to be, or Jim Lee. Sorry,
That's a Jim Lee?
it looks like a Jim Lee. I don't know.
Okay, that would explain it, because it actually looks good.
Yeah, comment below if anyone knows. But this one definitely is a Liefeld.
Oh, yeah.
I think McFarlane inked it though. This is the second printing of the New Mutants' first appearance of Cable in Marvel Universe. Sorry, Marvel Universe.
Funny is that I know at least 2 covers that McFarlane inked Liefeld's work.
And this one is not too bad, I think, actually.
You know,
I think,
it's actually one of his better pieces, I will admit.
It's funny, they did second printing of that one, so that one is only worth about $25 Canadian, maybe $30 in that condition. This first printing, Cable is worth closer to like $100, what I've seen.
Well, Cable's hot right now, because he's going to be in that Deadpool sequel.
Yeah, I know, right? It's going to be super hot. Here's X-Force #1. I picked this up for $5 at a comic book store.
I
Still
have
sealed.
I actually have both versions of that cover. I have the gold foil one and that one.
There's a gold foil of this one?
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't know that. This one has the thing about these, they have comic book, or they have cards in them.
Did you want the gold foil one? Because I don't need 2 copies of the same book.
It's funny that you say that. There's a collector card in here. It's Cable. But the one that's worth the most is the X-Force issue that has the collector card of Deadpool in it. So this is issue number 1 again. 2 of the same issue, Noah. They're the same issue. But this one has the Deadpool card in it. You can see right there.
Remember when they gave away trading cards in comics? Nate,
remember trading cards was like relevant? I think they're coming back, actually, trading cards.
Nate remembers.
Oh. You're going to do commercials for us, Noah. I swear to God. You have a good voice for that. X-Force #2. Sorry, yeah, X-Force #2. Second appearance of Deadpool in comic books. This came in the same package as that X-Force comic, so about $3.
You know, for as much as I rag on Rob Liefeld, and I do rag on him a lot, I will give the man credit. He gave us Cable and Deadpool, so thank you, Rob.
Yeah, actually, the co-creator of Deadpool, I forget his name, he's going to be in Canada in August. He's going to Ontario's comic convention there.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool for anyone watching in Ontario. Meet the co-creator of Deadpool.
Yes, I didn't know there was a co-creator. I always heard like Liefeld is like the one who created him, but
well, he created the design of Deadpool.
Yeah, there you go. Leading up to Dark Phoenix storyline in X-Men #99. Picked this one up at Valley Village. We've talked about it before. I think 50 cents I picked it up for. In this condition, $10, $15. Yeah. I was very surprised. I found that at the thrift store. You know what I mean?
I know. Thrifting ain't
Here we go.
completely dead.
This is Death of Elektra.
Ah, yes.
Daredevil. Well, technically, spoiler alert. Death of Elektra and Bullseye.
Nobody cared about
that. No one ever dies in comic books. You know what I mean? But yeah, this one, it's not very rare. It's readily available. It's just the desirability of it is higher, so that's why it commands a higher price. I paid $20 for this. Sticker on it was $30 at the flea market.
Nice.
I'm a big fan of the vigilante Marvel characters right now. So that's why you see me picking up a lot of Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Daredevil comics. You know, that's the ground level. Moon Knight is next. Yeah.
23. I'm going to start picking up some X-23 books. I loved Logan. That was a really...
Really? We shall talk about that in future episodes of the Nate and Noah Show.
And I recently saw Wonder Woman, which was good. Do yourself a favor and go check that out. Warner Brothers finally got it right.
Did they?
Yeah.
I heard that it did the comic book fans justice. It's a good lead up into Justice League. I watched Fat Man and whatever podcast they were talking about it. Yeah, looks amazing. It looks good. I won't lie. I'm gonna watch it eventually.
It was a good movie.
Did you see it opening day?
Yes, I believe so.
And
yeah.
We'll give it out of 10 if you had to give it a number.
I'd give it a solid 8.
That's it? 8, eh?
Yeah.
I think Rotten Tomatoes gives it like a 94. for fans
I had a hard
out of
There
100.
was only really one flaw I could think of with the movie. But that's getting into spoiler territory, so.
Alright, let's...
Go see Wonder
First
Woman.
appearance of Psylocke in New Mutants Annual number 2. First North American appearance of Psylocke. I believe she was in, like, European comics, and this is pre-Asian Psylocke, I believe, as well.
Yes, pre-Ninja Psylocke.
Yes, pre-Ninja. This is her first appearance in North America, right here, New Mutants number 2. Annual number 2. Sorry, a lot of key issues in New Mutants, actually. A lot of cool characters emerging from, like, that X-Men era, mutant era of comics in the early 80s. And really cool thing is they're really inexpensive. Like, this comic book was $10.
Oh, yeah.
In a pretty decent condition. And it's, for Psylocke, I love Psylocke. Just the, her design, character design. Not that I'm an expert on her or whatever, but there you go. That's it for the key issues of this episode. You want to move up to current reads?
Let's move up to current reads. I'll see if I recognize anything.
Round 3. The mailbox. Current reads. Haven't read this yet. Street Fighter versus Darkstalkers.
I wanted to get these issues.
They look like Udon art is amazing. Let's just say it's a very expensive art company, but they're very beautiful from what they create. Their art is very beautiful. I have a feeling though that this is going to be very thin in terms of storyline.
Are you really buying it for a good story though?
Well, that's why I said the art is really nice.
You're buying it for the art. Let's be honest.
And it kind of bridges that whole comic book video game fandom bridge.
Our fandoms cross-pollinate all the time. It's like culture. It's wonderful. It's how we get great things like that. Funny
enough, though, this has 2 UFS cards in it for people who are competitive trading card gamers. I thought UFS was dead. You remember UFS, Noah?
The Universal Fighting System trading card game? For
King of Fighters versus Street Fighter versus some other fighting games I've never heard of before in card form. I liked it.
I think I have some of the Street Fighter cards, actually.
Well, apparently, because the rumor was it was dying, so people were selling it off really inexpensively.
Mm-hmm.
I bought boxes off people for really cheap, and the game's not dead yet, and apparently a lot of the cards I'm playing are still legal. So
you should make a video about it.
Sorry?
You should make a video and inform people about what it is.
Oh, wait, I don't know if I want to share that with the public yet. A comic book line that I'm very happy I started reading, and I'm very high on right now. So this is one of the few I put in my mailbox. Thanos. The new Thanos line.
Thanos is the hot ticket villain right now, man. I tell you.
Oh my gosh. He is, obviously, but there you go. Spoiler alert, I guess. Just the general concept of the story. It is Thanos. I guess he's, dying, I guess. We don't exactly know why, but...
Death of Thanos. He can finally see his lady love.
Actually, it's his lady love. Is it Lady Death?
Yes, Lady Death.
I always call her Mistress Death. Lady Death
who also
is actually orchestrating... Deadpool. Oh, yes. That's a very interesting storyline, too. Because Deadpool dies so much. He essentially had an affair if she was with Thanos. With Deadpool. She loved him. That's why Thanos hates him so much. I think that's funny. It's kind of orchestrating the death of Thanos through multiple villains. His son is in this one, contributing. And, Thanos is trying to get back that power to stop his death, actually. And it reminds me of, like, after the events of Infinity Gauntlet, obviously everyone knows Thanos loses.
Obviously.
I think, was it Infinity War, I believe? Adam Warlock visits, like, a retired Thanos, and he almost looks like he's a farmer, right? He doesn't have his armor on or anything, just a normal purple garb, and he's like, retired, and they need his help to stop Magus. You know what I mean? This is what that kind of reminds me of. Like, look at this one here. Thanos is touching a butterfly.
Thanos touching a butterfly.
The human side of Thanos. He was a complex character for me. I really did enjoy him growing up because he had different, like, faces of him. Did you ever read when Captain Marvel died?
No.
Spoiler alert. Do you mind if I share it with you, Noah?
Go ahead.
It's been out for decades, Noah. Captain Marvel dies, and I guess in his transition, he dies of cancer. In the Marvel Universe, cancer is like that one thing that even Asgard can't cure or whatever.
Yep.
Everyone is susceptible to cancer. It's on other planets in the Marvel Universe. They call it Black Death on certain planets. When Captain Marvel dies, in his transition to death, he's greeted by Lady Death and Thanos. His arch villain, Thanos, is greeting him in death. And Thanos is like, you know what, I know I'm a bad guy or whatever, but I'm just here to tell you, you're a worthy adversary and I respect you, kind of things. Read that comic. I highly recommend it so far. I've read the first 5 issues of it. Good stuff. Noah, I recommend it to you.
I'll definitely have to check out the new Thanos.
And this one I'm really high on right now is the whole Thor. I missed out when Jane Foster became Thor. That's the new thing in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
The unworthy Thor.
I'm not a big fan of Jane Foster Thor.
Oh, why?
Because Thor is not a mantle you pass. It's not a title. It's literally a dude's name.
No, his name's Odin's son.
His name is Thor Odin's son, good sir.
He got this is the unworthy Thor. For spoiler alert for people who haven't read, I believe it was Original Sin where everyone's fighting Nick Fury.
I didn't read.
You know the whole.
Sin.
Sorry.
I didn't read Original Sin.
Do you care if I talk about it then?
Go ahead. All I know is that something happened to the Watcher's eyes.
Yeah, the Watchers. I won't tell you what happened to the Watcher. Nick Fury. He's like the guy in Marvel. He knows everyone's secrets, right?
Pretty much.
The whole thing about Thor's hammer is you have to be worthy to hold it. And in this battle with Thor and Nick Fury has like a failsafe, almost like Batman has a failsafe to kill every member of the Justice League. Nick Fury kind of has like a failsafe to kill every other hero in the world, basically, if he has to. He whispers something to Thor in Original Sin, and we don't know what to this day, as of the recording of this video, we don't know what he whispered to Thor. And for some reason, Thor drops his hammer and is unable to pick it up, meaning he told him something that Thor now believes he is unworthy to wield his own hammer or something. We don't know what he says. So that's where the unworthy Thor comes in, right? Because Thor has that. Thor, even without his hammer, is still supposed to be a god per se. He's a very powerful man, but his hammer gives him exponentially so much more power. Forged in the heart of a sun. Mjolnir,
I think.
Mjolnir. Yeah. Mjolnir.
Magellan.
What's Mew Mew? Mew Mew? Mew Mew. Mjolnir. Gives him so much more power, right? So right now, this is Thor just in God mode, whatever. He kind of disappeared, and in this comic, we catch up to Thor, who's being imprisoned by these people, and he's just consistently trying to break out. Badass Thor. I want to get out of here. So he's trying to break out and reclaim his power, I guess. And this is all happening while Jane Foster is Mantle Thor. I like the new Thor. I'm gonna have to buy that issue, I think. Read it, Noah. Read it before you judge it.
I don't know. I think
Your
they could have made Jane Foster her own hero, without having to make her into another Thor. Why not have her take up the mantle of the Valkyrie? That would have been
good point. I think they just did it because Thor has name recognition, right?
Yeah, that's all it is. It's his name recognition. The same reason X-23 is now the new Wolverine, or whatever. She-Hulk is now the main Hulk because Bruce Banner's dead. Spoiler alert.
I didn't know that. Thanks, Noah. He's dead? He really is dead?
When it happened.
See, I'm just catching up, so I have to catch up to Original Sin 2, Civil War 2, to catch up to all that crap.
I think the new one is Secret Empire or some crap.
Next on the current reads list is Secret Empire.
Speaking of,
I put this into my mailbox too. It's a limited run series. I haven't read it yet, but I'm very interested to see where this kind of goes. I don't have Secret Empire 0, and I kind of want to start at 0 when I read this line. So
I never understood the concept of the 0 issue.
Yeah, who knows, right? 1 second, sorry, phone's ringing. And apparently all spawns from this is the last current read, is Captain America. Hail Hydra. What did you think about the whole, when he said Hail Hydra thing?
I just kind of rolled my eyes and I'm like, yeah, this will be reversed in 6 months' time. I've grown.
It looks interesting. This is the second printing of this, though, by the way. I want to find the first printing of it. It pissed off a lot of people, and that's kind of why I want it.
Honestly, I've
pissed off a lot of people like Noah over here. You look so disappointed.
Honestly, I just,
I love the look on your face right now.
yeah. Honestly, man, like, it's just, I've grown jaded to these big plot twists because I know they're not going to stick.
Well, it's a story arc.
Well,
It's like the death of Captain America. You knew he wasn't going to die, but people ate it up.
You know what? All it is Marvel fishing for publicity on the net and clicks. That's all it is to me now.
They had to stop it because they got death threats. Is that what I read for,
You know
for
what?
Marvel?
If you don't like a story, don't send death threats, okay? Like, I hated Superior Spider-Man, but I didn't send Dan Slott a death threat.
We're above that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Grow up.
that's it for my
Act your
current...
age.
Sorry?
You're adults, people. The majority of you, I assume, act your age.
Words of wisdom from Noah. That ends my current issues log here.
You know,
I don't know.
I'm interested.
Lots of stuff to catch up on.
I'm interested in that Thanos series now, so I'm definitely going to have to check that out on your recommendation.
Yeah. If I can find a digital comic, I'll send it your way.
Oh man, you know me, I gotta be the physical comics. I subscribe to Stan Lee's philosophy. Comics are like boobs. They look great on the screen, but there's nothing compares to holding them in your hands.
That's going to be the intro for this video, Noah. Final segment of this video. Sorry, just to summarize the current list here. I got a lot to catch up on. I'm still testing out the waters for different storylines. For the next video, you can see behind me, I do have a little bit more current issues that I want to discuss. But I want to do this chronologically.
I'm telling you, man,
there you go.
Check out Mighty Morphin Power Rangers by Boom Studios. It's really good.
I'm very limited to my current gen, Noah. I have to save it for good comics.
That's the only comic I'm following anymore.
Did you ever read Old Man Logan?
I've read the original, but not this new miniseries.
This is the original. Steve McNiven and Mark Miller penned it. I think it's Wolverine number 66, actually. And the reason I wanted to pull this out was because I wanted to discuss the character in light of the movie coming out, which a lot of people loved. I thought it was okay.
Really?
It was great. It was a good movie. I thought there was still a lot of issues with that movie. You didn't think that?
I couldn't really think of any. Well, okay, like maybe the villains were kind of lame, but it wasn't about that. To me, it was about the end of the journey for Logan and Professor X, as portrayed by Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart. This is those actors' send-off as these characters, and that's what the movie was about to me.
Well, I think the movie was fantastic. The thing about the other Wolverine movies, there's so much crap. There was no redeeming qualities that let you overlook that crap. To me, in the the Logan movie, there was some crap in it, but it was all overshadowed by Wolverine decapitating people, X-23 decapitating Krzysztof Straczynski, who was a Winnipegger in the beginning. The essence of the Logan movie was Wolverine is saving a bunch of garbage pail kids to go to Canada through the Underground Railroad. That's what the whole movie was about, Logan. Garbage pail kids.
They're not garbage pail kids. They're the
all
next
freaks.
generation of X-Men.
Freaks without birthday parties. From Mexico.
You had to
Mexicans.
They didn't have birthday parties.
They're lucky Trump wasn't president in Logan. He would have deported their asses out.
Though they were being chased by a man named Donald.
That's true.
I stole that joke from Honest Trailers.
Oh, God. Garbage. They're garbage pail kids. Free, very blatant, I didn't... For spoiler alert for people who haven't seen the movie, did you like the clone Wolverine?
Which one?
The clone that was the younger Wolverine.
Oh.
Hunting them.
Young man Logan?
Yeah, young man Logan.
You know what? I thought it was an interesting twist. And seeing Hugh Jackman fight Hugh Jackman was pretty fun. Not gonna lie.
I wasn't expecting it, maybe, I'm a sucker for seeing characters, right? I wanted to see like a villain. Somehow they would tie in a villain here of some sort, but who could they really put? Old Man Logan, if you read that comic book, he's fighting like the inbred Hulks. He's fighting off the Morlocks from Mole Men, whatever they're called in this comic line.
And obviously, those rights are all owned by different studios now.
I know, but I'm saying, because reading Old Man Logan, you kind of want to see that, He fucking killed Red Skull with Captain America's shield. in this storyline. This is an amazing read. Amazing read. The reason I brought it up today, Noah, okay? When I was in a comic, the reason I kind of fell out of current comic books was my mailbox was getting full. When I say mailbox, it's automatic orders from the comic book store. Was getting full of Wolverine comics and spin-offs and one-offs and team-ups because they knew I liked Wolverine, so we're going to put him for Avengers. There's another Wolverine line, Best at the World at whatever, and another Wolverine one-off, and Wolverine Origins, X-Men, I was getting kind of tired of Wolverine. And I'm sure a lot of people were the same way, right?
Wolverine burnout.
It was. The movies were crap. They put him out everywhere. So I thought this character was done. I thought Wolverine was done with, right? And then they come out with Old Man Logan, which I had stopped my mailbox already because of this, but a local comic book guy, Justin, shouts out to Justin, said, "Hey Nate, you should really read." Yeah, you know Justin.
Yeah.
He's like, "You should read this Old Man Logan. It's gonna be good. Trust me." And I trust him, so I started it again, and god dang it, it was so good. They made a whole universe out of this in current Marvel lore. He's like essentially the new Wolverine in the current Marvel, right?
Yep. If you
like obviously X-23
go read Old Man Logan.
Oh my god. This is way better, obviously, than the movie. Like, that's what people always say. But for real, like, you got blind Hawkeye giving birth to the new Spider-Girl.
Yeah.
Come on. Tell me this is an amazing storyline. I think everyone should really read it.
Spider Bitch.
It's gone up. It's gone up. What did you call it, Spider Bitch?
Yes, that's what they called her. One of the characters called her in the story.
Yeah, she was in the new Kingpins, in the Kingpin area. She was a prisoner of the new Kingpin. Like, this one is cool. Look at this. This is where I think they call this area Thorfall. This is where Thor fell. Oh. Nobody could pick up. It's still there.
Spider-Man's corpse just hurts to see.
Yeah, Miss Marvel's corpse is there. This is like, when people are complaining that we need a rated R Wolverine movie, same thing in comic books. We need a Berserker Wolverine. This gives it to us, I believe. Like, okay, here you go. That's Red Skull as Captain America. Red Skull's a little bit more deranged in this storyline, but
which makes
overall
sense. Red Skull's
amazing.
Struck me as crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, like, losing it crazy. Not Hail Hitler crazy. But so you read this, right, Noah?
Yeah.
Old Man Logan. Give me your thoughts on Old Man Logan. What did it mean to you?
Well, when I read Old Man Logan, it was after it had been out for a while, and like years after it had been out. So, like, to the public, it wasn't fresh. But to me, it was wow. Because I had never really seen a violent Wolverine in any of my X-Men comics that I owned. Because, I owned a lot of the ones from the 70s and 80s and, even the 90s. Wolverine didn't really cause a lot of bloodshed. But, damn! Just blew my mind. And then a really great story on top of that. Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Did I break your concentration?
Nope, but just, wow.
I found this at the comic book store. Old Man Logan from Diamond Gallery.
That actually looks really good.
This is going to be on a future picker video. Not today, Noah. Not today.
I think I'm going to pick up
the
Marvel Legends figure of Old Man Logan, which has recently been put out in the latest X-Men wave.
That's going to be really good. Yeah. But there you have it. This is the Nate and Noah show. I think it's come to an end. We've kind of run our course here.
Yep.
Anything you want to say to the people, Noah? I think we're going to wrap it up.
One thing I can say is that in comic collecting, as in life, in it for the enjoyment. It's about the story, not the value.
Just kidding. I think there's a balance, though. I'm not going to lie. I pick up some comics for monetary purposes. Investments for my kids in the future. Jezebel Vision, what's up? But for the majority of it, yeah, I like the storylines. I like reading it, I think there could be a balance. Not everything has to be, pure reading. I'm going to throw it away. No, I take care of it after I bought it because I think it'll be worth something in the future. Thank God I bagged and boarded these because the current value has really shot up recently.
I hang on to all my comics that I buy.
Yeah. and I take care of them for the future. Anyways, that's it for me, Nate. Noah, say bye to the people.
Bye, people.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. Thank you. This is the Nate and Noah Show, episode 3-5. Perfect timing. All right, I'm going to head off. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.